fire, and most people don't even live. They just exist. They hide, they hesitate, they waste their one chance at life. But what if I told you that fear is stealing everything you could ever be? What if I told you comfort is killing you slowly? And when death finally comes, you'll realize it's too late. This is not just motivation. This is a wake-up call. Don't die a coward. Listen till the end, because this might change everything. Listen carefully, because this might be the most important thing you ever hear in your life. Life punishes hesitation. It doesn't wait for you. It doesn't stop for you. And it certainly doesn't care about your excuses. Every second you sit there doubting yourself, someone else is taking action. Action. Someone else is running faster, building more, training harder, moving forward while you're stuck in your own head. Fear is the greatest thief. It kills more dreams than failure ever could. Because at least failure means you tried. At least failure means you had the courage to step into the arena and give it everything you had. Fear robs you before you even get a chance to fight. It convinces you to stay comfortable, to stay safe, to stay small. And that's the trap most people never escape from. Think about all the opportunities you've had in your life. Moments where you felt that spark, that urge to take a risk, to step forward, to try something new. How many times did you ignore it? How many times did you tell yourself, maybe later, or I'm not ready yet? Every one of those moments is gone forever. They will never come back. Time is not your friend. Time is your enemy. Every second you hesitate, you're moving closer to your death. And what do you have to show for it? Fear gave you nothing but regret. Failure, on the other hand, is honest. Failure teaches you. Failure shapes you. Failure builds muscle, builds wisdom, builds resilience. You fall, you bleed, you get scarred, but you get up sharper, harder, smarter than before. Failure is the price of success, and only those willing to pay it ever get to taste victory. Fear demands no price, but it takes everything. It takes your ambition, your confidence, your potential, and it leaves you empty. You will never know what you could have been if you let fear chain you down. People like to lie to themselves. They say, I'm waiting for the right time, or I'll start when I feel ready. Let me tell you the truth. There is no right time, and you will never feel ready. Courage isn't about waiting until the fear disappears. Courage is acting despite fear. Courage is standing up and saying, I might lose, I might look stupid, I might fail 1,000 times, but I will not sit here and die slowly in my comfort zone. That is what separates champions from cowards. Champions act, cowards wait, and life punishes the cowards every single time. Look at the world around you. Every person you admire, every man or woman you look up to, they weren't fearless. They felt the same doubts, the same hesitation, the same voice in their head telling them to stay safe. The only difference is they moved anyway. They felt the fear and did it regardless. That's why they stand on stages, why their names are remembered, why they inspire millions. And you're sitting there thinking about what could go wrong. Do you know what's funny? Fear always exaggerates. It makes you believe the pain will be unbearable, the failure will be permanent, the humiliation will destroy you. But the moment you step forward, you realize none of it was as bad as your mind made it out to be. Fear is a liar. It builds prisons in your head, locks you inside, and convinces you the door is shut. But the truth, the door is wide open. You only need to walk through it. Every time you hesitate, every time you give in to fear, you're training yourself to be weaker. You're building a habit of quitting before you even begin. But every time you face fear, no matter how small the step, you're training yourself to be stronger. You're creating momentum. That's how courage is built. Not in giant leaps, but in consistent decisions to act when it would be easier to hide. You want a better life? Stop waiting. You want success? Stop thinking about it and start moving. You want freedom? Stop being a slave to fear. The universe rewards the man who dares, not the man who waits. You're either moving forward or falling behind. There is no standing still. Fear wants you frozen, but life keeps going. And when it's all said and done, when you're on your deathbed, do you really want to look back and realize the only thing that held you back was a voice in your own mind? Life punishes hesitation. Fear kills dreams before they can even take their first breath. But courage creates kings. Courage builds legacies. Courage is the only path to greatness, and it is yours to choose right now in this moment. Comfort is the slowest poison. It doesn't destroy you all at once. It kills you slowly, silently, day by day, until you wake up one morning and realize your potential has been buried under years of laziness and excuses. Comfort feels good in the moment. It whispers in your ear, telling you to relax, to take it easy, to do it tomorrow. But tomorrow never comes. Tomorrow is the lie the weak live by. Tomorrow is the graveyard of ambition. The truth is, real men, real warriors, real champions, they understand one thing: comfort is the enemy of growth. Nothing valuable in this life comes without pain. Nothing legendary is built without sacrifice. You think the greats achieved success by sleeping in, scrolling on their phones, hiding from struggle? No. They suffered, they sweated, they bled. They sacrificed their time, their energy, their peace, and sometimes even their sanity. But they pushed through it because they knew that on the other side of pain was power. On the other side of sacrifice was greatness. You can't cheat reality. You can't bargain with it. You either pay the price in pain now, or you pay the price in regret later. And regret is a much heavier burden to carry. Regret rots your soul. It eats you alive from the inside because it reminds you of what you could have been if you weren't such a coward hiding in comfort. That's why the gym is full of empty promises. That's why businesses never get started. That's why dreams die before they're even born, because people are addicted to comfort. Think about it. Comfort zones are cages. They might look safe, but they're prisons. When you stay in comfort, you're not living, you're waiting to die. Soons of die. You're watching your potential fade while you chase meaningless pleasures that give you nothing back. Netflix, fast food, endless distractions. These are the tools of mediocrity. They make you feel good for an hour, but they steal your destiny forever. Pain, on the other hand, is the ultimate teacher. 20. Pain strips away your weakness. Pain shows you who you really are. When you push your body to exhaustion, when you force yourself to grind even when you're tired, when you keep moving forward even when the world is against you, that's when you find your strength. That's when you find your strength. That's when you transform. That's when you build a legacy. Legacy isn't built on comfort, it's built on war, on struggle, on fire. Look around. The men who built empires, who became legends, who left their names carved into history, they didn't chase comfort. They embraced the storm. They faced rejection, humiliation, failure, battles most people would run from. And that's exactly why they are remembered. Nobody remembers the man who sat on his couch for years. Nobody writes stories about the one who played it safe, who avoided risks, who lived and died inside his comfort zone. They are forgotten before they're even gone. Sacrifice is the price of immortality. Every drop of sweat, every sleepless night, every risk taken, it adds up. You're trading pieces of your life for something bigger, something eternal. That's why real men accept the pain. They welcome it. They know that suffering today builds strength tomorrow. They know that every scar is proof they lived with courage. Excuses don't leave scars. Excuses leave you soft, weak, invisible. And don't fool yourself into thinking you can avoid the price. Life demands payment from every man. If you don't pay in sweat, effort, and sacrifice now, you'll pay in regret, mediocrity, and wasted years later. There's no escaping it. You either burn with discipline today or you rot with regret tomorrow. The choice is yours. Comfort tries to tell you that peace and safety is the goal. But peace is not found in hiding. Peace is found in conquering. Safety is not in avoiding risk. Safety is in building the strength to face any storm. That's why warriors live forever. They choose to suffer. They choose to sacrifice. And in return, life gives them glory. So if you want to be remembered, if you want to live with pride instead of regret, stop chasing comfort. Run from it like it's a disease, because that's what it is, a slow, sweet poison that destroys everything you could ever be. Embrace the pain, embrace the risk, embrace the sacrifice. Because comfort will kill you quietly, but struggle will build you into someone the world can never forget. Death comes for all of us. No one escapes it, no one cheats it, no one negotiates their way out. It doesn't matter how rich you are, how powerful you think you've become, or how much you've avoided risk in life, death will still come. Death will still come. And when it does, the only question left is this: will you face it with honor, or will you hide like a coward and vanish unnoticed? Most people live as if they'll never die. They walk through life timid, careful, playing small, terrified of failing, terrified of being judged, terrified of taking risks. They think that by avoiding danger, by staying safe, they're extending their life. But in reality, they're already dead inside. They're not living, they're just existing. They've buried their dreams under fear and excuses, and the worst part is, the world will never know their names. They'll die quietly, fade into the background, and be forgotten within a generation. That's what a coward's death looks like. But a man who lives with courage, A man who stares death in the face and still acts boldly. He never really dies. His name echoes. His story inspires. His life becomes a symbol for everyone who comes after him. That's the difference. Death is inevitable, but legacy is a choice. You can either die as a nobody remembered by no one, or you can die as someone who stood tall, someone who dared to live fully, someone who refused to bow down to fear. People think the goal is to survive as long as possible. That's a weak mindset. Survival is the bare minimum. Survival is what animals do. Human beings are meant for something greater. We're meant to conquer, to build, to create, to inspire, to leave something behind that lasts beyond our years. You can live 100 safe years and still mean nothing. Or you can live 40 bold years and inspire generations. The number doesn't matter. What matters is how you live them. When death comes, it won't ask how comfortable you were. It won't care about the nights you played it safe, the times you avoided embarrassment, the risks you never took. Death will only measure your courage. Did you fight? Did you push? Did you push? Did you stand for something? Did you take the hits, take the losses, and still move forward? Or did you hide, making excuses, waiting for the right moment that never arrived? Every man has to ask himself this. When it's over, will I regret the battles I never fought? Will I regret the chances I never took? Will I lie there wishing I had lived differently? Because regret is the sharpest pain you'll ever feel. Not the pain of failure, not the pain of loss. Regret. Knowing you had the chance, but you lacked the courage to take it. That pain follows you to the grave. Facing death with honor doesn't mean living recklessly. It means living with purpose. It means standing for something, even when it's hard. It means chasing your vision, even when fear tells you not to. It means fighting your battles with pride, whether you win or lose, because at least you stood up. Posse falls off. At least you showed the world you had fire in your heart. The cowards will never understand this. They'll keep chasing comfort, clinging to safety, lying to themselves that they're being a smart or practical. But in reality, they're already forgotten before they're gone. Before they're gone. They've contributed nothing. They've inspired no one. They've wasted the one chance they were given at life. The brave, however, they carve their names into eternity. Every scar on their body tells a story. Every battle they fought proves they were alive. When they die, people remember them not because they were perfect, but because they were fearless. And that's the ultimate victory. Death comes for all of us. You don't get to choose when, but you do get to choose how you meet it. Will you stand tall, proud of the life you lived, unafraid of the end? Or will you shrink away, realizing too late that you wasted your time hiding? You cannot stop death, but you can stop yourself from dying a coward. You can choose to live in such a way that when the final moment comes, you stare it in the face with no regret, no fear, only pride. Because you know you lived fully, you fought your battles, and you left your mark. Listen to me carefully, because this is the moment where it all comes together. I've told you about fear, I've told you about comfort, I've told you about death, but now it's time for you to decide who you're going to be. You're going to be a riser. You are either going to step into the world as a man who takes action, or you're going to stay small, invisible, waiting for life to hand you something it never will. Life doesn't give handouts. Life doesn't reward cowards. Life respects courage, and it respects sacrifice. That's the deal. So I ask you, what are you doing with your time? How many more days will you waste scrolling, sleeping, distracting yourself, telling yourself lies that you'll start tomorrow? Tomorrow is the biggest scam in history. Tomorrow is for weak men. The strong take action today. Today. The strong say, I will do it now. I will change now. I will fight now. Don't sit there and tell me you can't. Don't sit there and say, you're not ready. You don't have the money. You don't have the time. Those are the excuses cowards make. You think the world cares about your excuses? You think history remembers the man who almost tried? Nobody cares. Nobody will ever care. The only thing that matters is results. Did you build? Did you fight? Did you leave your mark? You must understand, every man is given one life. One. And it is ticking away as you sit here listening. Every second is a step closer to the grave. You can waste those seconds hiding, or you can use them to create something legendary. Fear will tell you to stay safe. Comfort will tell you to relax. Death will remind you your time is running out. Which voice are you going to obey? You think you're afraid of failure? Failure is nothing. Failure is the tuition you pay for greatness. Failure is the proof that you had the guts to try. What you should be afraid of is mediocrity. Waking up in your 40s, 50s, 60s, realizing you played it safe your whole life. And for what? To die unnoticed. To be another name on a gravestone nobody visits. That's what fear buys you. That's what comfort buys you. But courage. Courage buys you freedom. Courage buys you respect. Courage buys you the right to die with your head high, knowing you lived as a warrior. Imagine lying on your deathbed and smiling because you fought every battle. You chased every dream. You left nothing inside you. That's the reward for the man who refuses to die a coward. So here's my question. When it's over, how do you want to be remembered? As the man who talked big but never acted? As the man who always had excuses? Or as the man who refused to bow down, who refused to quit, who faced every storm with fire in his eyes? It's your choice. No one is coming to save you. No one is coming to hand you the life you want. You must take it. You must earn it. You must fight for it every single day. That means waking up when you don't feel like it. That means putting in the work when nobody is watching. That means ignoring the voice of fear and smashing through the walls of comfort. Because listen, one day, sooner than you think, death will knock. And when it does, you won't get more time. You won't get another chance. You won't get to go back and fix your mistakes. The only thing you'll have is the truth. Did you live like a coward or did you live like a king? So stop wasting time. Stop pretending you have forever. Stop living like you're immortal. You're not. Every breath is a countdown. Use it. Push yourself harder than you ever have. Build something that lasts. Fight battles that matter. Live a life so powerful, so unapologetically bold, that when death finally comes, it can't erase your name, Don't die a coward. Don't die forgotten. Die a man who lived fully, who inspired others, who faced the fire, turned it into fuel. Die with scars, not with excuses. Die with pride, not with regret. Die with a smile, because you know you burn so brightly that the world will never forget you, That's the choice in front of you, and the time to choose is now.